Introduction. Have you ever worked tirelessly, putting in hour after hour of effort, only to find that the success you were hoping for seems just out of reach? Do you ever wonder why some people who barely break a sweat seem to get ahead effortlessly, while you struggle despite your relentless dedication? Here's the truth. You've been lied to. From the moment you were taught to believe that hard work equals success, the system has been rigged against you. We've all been told that working harder, grinding endlessly, and sacrificing your time and energy is the key to achieving success. Your parents, your teachers, society, they all drilled this message into your head. But if hard work was truly the secret, then why aren't the hardest working people, the construction workers, the nurses, the single parents, among the wealthiest? Why are they struggling just to get by? Meanwhile, there are others who seem to effortlessly make more money in a week than most will in a lifetime. The answer lies in the fact that the world doesn't reward effort, it rewards leverage. It rewards those who know how to work smarter, not harder. They build systems, they leverage resources, and they make their money work for them, rather than working themselves into the ground. In this podcast, I'm going to show you how the myth of hard work has kept you stuck, and how you can break free from the cycle of endless grinding. You'll learn how successful people think differently, how they use leverage to multiply their results, and how you can do the same. It's time to stop playing by the rules that keep you stuck and start creating your own path. The question is, will you keep believing the lie, or will you finally wake up and start working smarter? Stay tuned, because everything is about to change. Section 1. The hard work myth. Have you ever worked tirelessly, giving your all, only to feel like you are stuck in the same place, watching others succeed while you remain in the grind? It's a frustrating cycle, and if you've ever found yourself in this position, you are not alone. We've all been told the same thing since childhood: work hard and you will succeed. It's a message that has been drilled into us by our parents, teachers, and society at large. But what if I told you that this belief is a lie, a myth that has been keeping you stuck and preventing you from achieving the success you truly deserve? Let's take a closer look at the myth of hard work. It sounds noble, doesn't it? The idea that the more effort you put in, the more rewards you will get in return. But here's the harsh reality. Hard work alone doesn't guarantee success. In fact, for many people, it keeps them trapped in a cycle of endless effort with little to show for it. Think about it for a moment. Who are the hardest working people you know? Construction workers who toil under the sun, nurses pulling long shifts, or single parents working multiple jobs just to keep their families afloat? If hard work was the key to success, wouldn't they be the wealthiest people on the planet? Yet they aren't. They are barely scraping by, living paycheck to paycheck, still struggling despite their constant grind. Now consider someone who barely breaks a sweat. They're working fewer hours but still pulling in massive amounts of money, living a life of freedom and luxury. What's their secret? It's not that they are more talented or lucky. The truth is that they are leveraging their time and resources in a way that multiplies their efforts, something hard work alone can't do. The key difference is leverage. Successful people understand the power of working smart, not just hard. They build systems, make their money work for them, and delegate the tasks that don't require their direct involvement. They use their time to focus on high-impact activities that generate greater returns rather than spending endless hours on low-value tasks. Hard work is often glorified in our culture, and we are taught to believe that if we just keep working harder, we will eventually reach success. But that mindset is deeply flawed. Think of it this way. If hard work was truly the answer, then every single person who works long hours in physically demanding jobs would be wealthy. But they aren't, because they are stuck in the wrong game. The truth is, hard work alone is not enough to create the life you want. Instead of focusing on grinding harder, you need to focus on working smarter. The reality is that success comes from knowing where to direct your efforts, using leverage, and building systems that make your work easier and more impactful. By continuing to believe in the myth of hard work, you're only setting yourself up for frustration and burnout. You're wasting time and energy doing things that won't move you forward. It's time to break free from this lie and start working in a way that truly supports your goals and dreams. In the next sections, we will dive deeper into what it really takes to achieve success and break free from the trap of hard work. You'll learn how to leverage your time, skills, and resources to create real change in your life. But first, let go of the idea that working harder will always lead to success. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Section 2. Why hard work keeps you stuck. How many times have you found yourself working harder than ever, yet feeling like you are getting nowhere? You pour hours into your tasks, you sacrifice sleep, social time, and even your own health, all in the hopes that eventually your efforts will pay off. But somehow, you remain stuck in the same place, watching others move ahead while you keep grinding away. If this sounds familiar, it's not just bad luck, it's the hard work trap. The truth is, hard work can keep you stuck no matter how much effort you put in. While we are taught that hard work is the key to success, what is rarely discussed is that working harder does not always result in moving forward. In fact, it can have the opposite effect, preventing you from achieving the success you desire. Picture two people. One spends 12 hours a day laboring away at their desk, tirelessly working on their projects. The other, however, spends only a fraction of that time focusing on a single, high-impact task that could move the needle in their business or career. Who do you think will achieve more in the long run? It's not the person who works harder. It's the person who works smarter. Here's the problem. We are often taught to measure success based on the number of hours we put in, but success is not a direct result of time spent working. The truth is, effort is important, but where and how we direct that effort matters far more. Imagine a hamster running endlessly on a wheel, working hard, burning energy, but going nowhere. This is what happens when we focus on hard work without strategic direction. In today's world, we are bombarded with messages that glorify hard work. From the workplace to social media, we are told to hustle, grind, and push ourselves beyond our limits. The message is clear: the more you work, the more successful you'll be. But here's the ugly truth. This mindset is flawed. The system is designed to keep you running in circles, working harder and harder with no real progress. Hard work can be a form of distraction. It keeps you busy, but it doesn't guarantee success. The reason for this is simple. We tend to focus on tasks that give us immediate results or make us feel productive, but those tasks aren't always the ones that move us toward our bigger goals. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life, filling our days with low-value activities just to feel like we are accomplishing something. But in reality, all that hard work is taking time away from the things that truly matter. Look at the people who achieve the most. They aren't working endlessly. They aren't spending their days scrambling through email after email or getting caught up in every small task that pops up. Instead, they focus on the activities that yield the highest return on investment, whether that's making key business decisions, building relationships, or investing in their personal development. They understand that success isn't about filling every moment with work, it's about working on the right things. Let's break it down further. Hard work often leads to burnout. When you push yourself too hard for too long, you eventually reach a point where your body and mind can no longer keep up. Exhaustion sets in, your productivity declines, and you begin to make poor decisions. Instead of being able to focus on the big picture, you are stuck in survival mode, scrambling to keep up with the demands you've placed on yourself. This not only leads to stress and frustration, but also significantly diminishes your ability to perform at your best. The problem with hard work is that it doesn't allow you to step back and assess the situation. You're so focused on doing the work that you forget to think about how to work smarter. Success isn't about how many hours you put in, it's about the effectiveness of your actions. Working harder doesn't allow you the time or energy to reflect on your progress, adjust your strategy, or optimize your approach. You're simply repeating the same tasks over and over without improving the way you work. So, what's the solution? The first step is to understand that hard work alone isn't enough. You need to stop focusing on the effort and start focusing on the results. Instead of working harder, you need to work smarter. This means shifting your mindset from busyness to intentionality. It's about being strategic with your time and energy, focusing on high-value activities that will move you closer to your goals. Ask yourself, are you spending your time doing things that will have a lasting impact on your success? Are you leveraging your efforts to create systems that work for you instead of just trading hours for money? If you can start answering yes to these questions, you'll begin to see how working smarter can help you break free from the trap of hard work. Hard work alone is not the key to success. It's working on the right things in the right way that truly makes a difference. The next time you find yourself grinding away at tasks that don't seem to move the needle, take a step back and evaluate. Are you truly moving toward your goal, or are you just busy? Success isn't about effort, it's about strategy, leverage, and smart execution. If you want to break free from the cycle of hard work without progress, start by changing how you work. Focus on what matters most and build systems that support your goals. Only then will you begin to see the success you've been working so hard for. Section 3. The real formula for success. Now that we've broken down the myth of hard work, it's time to talk about what really creates success. Spoiler alert. It's not just luck, nor is it some magical formula. It's something much more practical, something that most people don't understand or overlook. The real formula for success is leverage. Leverage is the secret weapon that separates those who get ahead from those who stay stuck. It's the reason why some people achieve in a year what others take a lifetime to accomplish. And the great news is, you don't need to be born into wealth or luck to harness it. You just need to learn how to use leverage effectively. But before we dive into how leverage works, let's first explore why hard work alone won't get you where you want to go. We've been told time and time again that success comes from grinding away, spending endless hours, exerting maximum effort, and staying relentlessly focused. While effort is important, it's not the whole story. Imagine this. Two people working on the same project. One works 16-hour days, but the other works a mere 6 hours. Yet the second person achieves far more. Why? Because they know how to leverage their time and resources effectively. This brings us to the first form of leverage, money leverage. The rich don't trade time for money. Instead, they make their money work for them. Think about it. Billionaires and successful entrepreneurs don't clock in and out of an office. They don't spend hours working for a paycheck. Instead, they invest their money in businesses, real estate, stocks, or other ventures that generate passive income. While you work to earn your paycheck, they have money working for them around the clock. That's the power of money leverage. The more you understand and practice this, the faster you'll break free from the cycle of working harder and harder for less. The second form of leverage is people leverage. You can't do everything alone. Successful people know this. They delegate, collaborate, and build teams that amplify their efforts. Think about a successful business. It's not just one person working behind the scenes, it's a team, a network of people who bring their skills, ideas, and expertise to the table. Leverage is about using the talents of others to build something bigger and more impactful. You don't need to do everything yourself. Instead, surround yourself with people who can support your vision and help you move closer to your goals faster. Finally, technology and systems leverage is the game changer. In the modern world, technology allows you to scale your efforts exponentially. Think about how a business owner can use automated systems to serve thousands of customers, while a small business owner without systems can only serve one at a time. Or consider the power of social media platforms and digital marketing tools, which allow you to reach a global audience with just a few clicks. Technology gives you the ability to multiply your output and impact, while a traditional hard worker is limited by the number of hours they can physically put in. The key here is to stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an entrepreneur. As an employee, your income is directly tied to your time, but as an entrepreneur, your income can be tied to systems, people, and assets. The difference is staggering. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about investing in the right resources that can work for you while you focus on scaling and growing. Think of your time, skills, and energy as the most valuable resources you have. Where you invest them will determine your level of success. Leverage doesn't just work for the wealthy. You don't need a massive startup or millions of dollars to get started. Small investments, whether in your own skills, in the right technology, or in building a team, can make a massive difference over time. It's about making choices that allow you to compound your efforts. This is the real secret to success. But here's the kicker. Leverage requires smart execution. It's not enough just to know about leverage, you need to know how to use it. Success comes when you understand where to apply leverage, whether that's through money, people, or systems, and then execute strategically. The successful people you admire didn't just stumble into success. They found ways to work smarter, not harder. They built systems, optimized their processes, and learned to leverage the right opportunities. So if you're still stuck, grinding away, spending countless hours trying to get ahead, it's time for a change. Start asking yourself, how can I apply leverage in my own life? Where can I make investments, whether in people, resources, or technology, that will multiply my efforts and help me achieve more with less? The answers may not be obvious at first, but once you start thinking in terms of leverage, you'll see opportunities everywhere. The real formula for success doesn't involve grinding harder. It's about leveraging what you already have, your time, money, relationships, and resources, and applying them in smart, strategic ways. It's about breaking free from the trap of working harder for less and shifting to a mindset that allows you to achieve far more with far less effort. Are you ready to step into this new way of thinking? Are you ready to stop working harder and start working smarter? If so, you're on the right path. The next steps you take will determine your success. So think about where you're putting your efforts and ask yourself, how can I leverage this situation for greater results? Success doesn't have to be hard, it just needs to be smart. Section 4. Why the rich don't work like you. The difference between the rich and the rest of us often feels impossible to bridge. We look at billionaires, successful entrepreneurs, and executives, and we wonder, how did they get there? They don't seem to be working harder than anyone else, and yet they are living a life many of us can only dream about. What is it that separates the wealthy from the rest? It's not about working harder, it's about working differently. Let's take a look at why the rich don't work like you. The truth is, they don't exchange their time for money like most of us do. They have discovered the key to financial freedom. And it's not just about putting in more hours or grinding endlessly. The wealthy understand the concept of leverage, the ability to make their time, money, and resources work for them. This understanding is what sets them apart and allows them to achieve far more with far less effort. Think about the way the majority of people work. They trade hours for dollars. You work your 9 to 5, or in some cases, you work much longer than that, hoping that the paycheck will be enough to cover your expenses and save a little for the future. But here's the catch. No matter how many hours you put in, there will always be a limit to what you can achieve. You will hit a ceiling. Your time is finite and your energy is not limitless. So you can never truly escape the cycle of working harder for just a little bit more. On the other hand, the wealthy understand that working harder isn't the answer. Instead of spending countless hours doing everything themselves, they focus on ownership, delegation, and systems. They know that when you own something, whether it's a business, real estate, or intellectual property, you don't have to keep working to earn. The asset works for you. When you have systems in place, you don't have to be constantly grinding. The system runs without you, generating revenue passively. This is the secret to creating wealth, building something that continues to generate income, even while you're not working. Take, for example, the difference between an employee and a business owner. An employee is paid for their time. If they don't show up to work, they don't get paid. But a business owner earns money because their business is structured to produce even in their absence. They invest in systems that allow their businesses to run smoothly without their constant involvement. So the time they would spend working is instead used to focus on growth, strategy, and expansion. Tasks that can lead to massive increases in wealth. Another key difference is that the wealthy focus on multiplying their resources, not just working to earn more money. Wealthy people invest in assets such as stocks, real estate, or businesses that provide them with passive income. For them, it's not about working harder, it's about learning how to make their money work for them. They understand that leverage can turn a small investment into something huge, something that grows without them having to be directly involved in the day-to-day operations. In contrast, most people are stuck working harder and harder without ever learning how to leverage their resources to create exponential returns. The rich also understand the value of time. While most people think they need to work harder to make money, wealthy people know that time is their most precious resource. They focus on spending their time doing high-impact activities that lead to greater returns. Instead of filling their days with tasks that don't move them forward, they prioritize their time for high-value actions. They delegate tasks to others, use technology to automate processes, and take steps to ensure that their time is spent on things that truly matter. One of the most important distinctions the wealthy make is in prioritization. While the average person spends their time grinding away at tasks that may seem important but don't actually contribute to their long-term success, the rich prioritize strategic thinking. They spend time learning, investing in their education, and developing skills that allow them to think critically and make smarter decisions. The difference lies in the ability to work on the right things rather than simply working harder on everything. In addition to strategic thinking, the wealthy understand the importance of building and leveraging relationships. While most people work in isolation, the wealthy know that collaboration and networking can exponentially increase their chances of success. They don't try to do everything themselves. Instead, they surround themselves with a team of experts who can help them achieve their goals faster and more efficiently. They recognize that their success is not just about the hours they put in, but about the people they know and how they leverage those relationships. Finally, the rich have mastered the art of investing in themselves. They recognize that personal development and self-improvement are the keys to continued growth. They invest in their skills, their knowledge, and their well-being. Instead of working non-stop, they understand that taking time to recharge, reflect, and think strategically is just as important as hard work. They focus on becoming the best version of themselves so they can make better decisions, create more value, and ultimately build the life they want. So, why don't the rich work like you? It's because they don't fall into the trap of thinking that hard work alone will lead to success. They understand that true wealth is built through smart decisions, strategic investments, delegation, and systems. They know that by leveraging their time, their money, and their relationships, they can create a life of abundance, while others are stuck grinding endlessly without getting ahead. It's time to stop following the traditional path of working harder and harder without getting anywhere. Instead, focus on building your leverage, invest in assets, build systems, prioritize high-value actions, and most importantly, work smarter, not harder. The choice is yours. You have the power to start working like the wealthy and break free from the cycle of hard work that keeps you stuck. The question is, are you ready to take that step? Conclusion. As we wrap up this journey, it's clear that the idea of hard work being the sole key to success is a myth. We've all been sold this dream: grind harder, put in more hours, and eventually you will make it. But the truth is much more nuanced, and it reveals that working smarter, not harder, is the real game changer. Imagine a world where you could achieve your dreams, not by spending countless hours exhausted, but by creating systems that work for you. Imagine leveraging your time, money, and energy to multiply your results, rather than simply working harder for a paycheck that barely covers your expenses. This is the mindset of the wealthy, and it's not reserved for a select few. It's available to anyone willing to break free from the cycle of grinding endlessly for nothing more than temporary relief. The wealthiest people don't get ahead by doing everything themselves. They understand the power of leverage, using their resources in the most efficient way possible. They delegate, invest, build systems, and collaborate with others. They don't get bogged down by tasks that don't align with their true goals. Instead, they focus on high-impact actions that truly move the needle. The choice is now yours. You can continue down the same path, believing that hard work alone will lead you to success. Or You can choose to work smarter, to understand leverage, and to use your time and energy in ways that will yield much greater returns. It's not about doing more, but doing what truly matters. The system has conditioned you to believe that effort alone guarantees success. But when you start looking beyond that, you'll realize that the real path to freedom comes from working on the right things, investing in the right opportunities, and building the systems that will provide you with lasting wealth. So, ask yourself, what is your next move? Will you keep grinding away in a system that keeps you stuck? Or will you break free, change your approach, and begin building your own path to success? The choice is yours. Start today and begin the journey towards smarter, more strategic success. Don't just work harder, work right, and you'll start seeing the results you've been waiting for.